Man, there you are. How you
How you
doing?
doing? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear, man. How am I coming out on your end?
Good, good. Perfect, man. Perfect.
Yeah, I don't want to be too loud, but then again, I don't make sure you hear me.
No, I got it. I got it. Nah, yeah. Hear you perfect, man.
Hey, brother. So before I get started, man, I think you should just be a Colgate model.
Oh, my teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Perfect.
It's a clean, clean smile, bro.
Yeah. They white. I paid for it, so
Yeah. I just brush as much as I can because I've used the whitening strips in the past, and then you go to drink like cold water, and
yep.
sometimes you get that like, ugh, you know.
It's too sensitive.
Too sensitive, man. So I just try to brush it a lot. Do you use a light, like laser light and stuff like that?
No, these are veneers.
Ah,
Yeah, yeah.
all right, cool, man. Well, hey, it looks clean, bro. I'm not a
Thank you.
hater. I'm
Thank
just gonna say it.
you.
What's the dealie, man?
No, man, dude, I've been watching your YouTube videos like crazy.
Okay, so this means that you are getting ready to propel into the industry, and you're just soaking up like as much information as possible right now. Or where are you at right now in your journey?
Yeah, I do. I'm a full-time photographer.
Okay,
I do weddings and all that stuff. So the booths I had in mind for I think like over a year now.
okay,
And I was gonna start with somebody, but then they kind of backed out.
okay. It was meant to be. That's good. It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I end up getting super busy with the weddings and all that. And then dude, I started seeing a bunch of photo booths and 360 booths, making like, $700, $800 to $1,000, and they're there like half the time I'm there. And I'm like, oh no.
Right, right. And
Yeah.
everything is systematic where you just have the rotating arm. And for you as a photographer, you have to really circulate around the entire event to get those shots, those beauty shots, those angles, right? It's all about angles and
Well,
lighting. So yeah, I totally get it. And then it sounds like, for your events, you just started to see the 360 booth more often.
no, yeah, I would see them because at these weddings, I do smaller weddings, and then I would just see them all the time. And I'm up in Northern California, like by the Bay Area.
Okay.
So there's a bunch of like, bunch of money out there. So I started asking the photo booth people and then the 360. I'm like, how much you guys charging for the 3, 4 hours? And they're telling me these prices. I'm like, man, I'm getting, this amount, and I'm
Yeah.
here for 6, 8 hours running around from hotel to
Sure.
venue. And I'm just like, and I see them kicking back. Well, not really kicking back, but compared to me, hanging out and making sure everything's running right. I'm just like, dang, I kind of want to do that, like,
Okay.
and just even had that as a side too, because I shoot with like 2 or 3 photographers. And then so I kind of have like a little wedding, not a team, but I have like the 2 or 3 people I shoot with. And then that's how the idea became about, because we were like, at one wedding where one photographer wasn't doing anything, we were like, yo, that would be cool if we had a 360 on the side, and like he ran it while us two actually did the wedding and just kept it all like,
Mm.
you know, all together, as a package. If they wanted to book a wedding photographer, I could like add that service, or vice versa. They book a 360 booth, I could be like, hey, I'm an actual wedding photographer too. And I've been doing it for so and so years. So, and then I was popping up on YouTube, and then you kept popping up, and I was like, what the hell? And they were just like,
Like, who
you,
is this
you,
guy?
you. Yeah. And I was like, okay. I was like, I'm gonna check him out because like I'm kind of into like the wedding industry. So I'm like, I'm looking through, and I'm just like, dang, like he has a lot of info. So I gotta hit him up, because now like I'm about to take that step to do it. So I'm just like, I gotta hit him up, see what he's talking about.
Sweet, sweet. Okay, so that's where we're at right now. You were kind of just doing your diligence, came across the
Yeah.
channel, seen some information, maybe you seen value in it, so now we're here. Cool.
Yeah.
One thing I want to start off by saying is it sounds like you already have a team of individuals who are professionals and are reliable and already in the same industry as you. So they have a vision for lighting, they have a vision for angles. And when it comes to the 360 booth, a lot of operators, what they're doing is they just put the phone or their camera on the arm and let it go. For
Yeah.
me,
Yeah.
I really like the lighting. I spend time in the lighting. I spend time on how far it is from the actual attendee. I'm more technical when it comes to how the laser is gonna come in and look in the back shot. How is the cold sparkles are gonna be sparkling in the background. I'm very I'm very technical when it comes to that stuff, and I think you as a photographer will do well because you have the eye for that type of things, whether it's video or photography. It's just instilled in you because of the profession you're in. So
Yeah.
that's already a huge plus.
I definitely see that with your stuff, like compared to like other, because other people's are good, but I seen your stuff and I was like, dang, like you could tell you spend time on the setup and the lighting, because some people, like you say, they just put up the ring light and then that's it. But like
That's
yours,
it.
I'm like looking through, I'm like, oh yeah, like he's putting effort into it, like the extra effort.
Yes, for sure. So there'll be moments where people step out of the booth, and it gives me a chance to go in there and recalibrate, and then a new group will go on the booth, and what I'll do, Philomen, right?
Yep, yep, yep.
Philomen. What I'll do is I'll mess with the brightness, and I'll look at my phone, and as I'm messing with the brightness, I can kind of see how much of a bounce they're getting from, because some I have, like, look at me, I have a super shiny forehead, bro. And
Yeah.
and that's because I've been working my butt off all day, and then I get oily. That's just my skin, right? But if I do
Yeah.
this right here, for example, hold on. If I do this, this is a little over the top. But what's cool
Yeah.
is that my camera on my MacBook somewhat adjusts. So that's what I do, man. I do a lot of experimenting.
That's
Um,
good.
so I think that you have those skills already instilled in you. So right now, I'm sure. Do you have a budget already for your 360 booth, Filament?
Yeah, it's about like probably like about five.
Yeah, that's more than enough, to be honest with you, man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Now I waited till I got a pretty good chunk just to have just in case, just to get whatever I need.
Okay. So, I mean, I can start off by giving you tips and advice, but maybe you have a list for me of questions you want to kind of go through, or if you want to just freestyle it, one topic will lead to another. It just depends how you want to do this. It's totally up to
Um,
you, brother.
Really, it was because I actually have the supplier of this one girl that has hers,
Okay.
which is from Alibaba.
Okay.
So I mean, I seen that your video, like you had your suppliers too, and I was looking through them, like I know look for like the verified, supplier
Yes.
and all that stuff.
Good
So
man.
I have that down. I'm gonna get that soon. I think that's about like because I'm getting the one with the glass.
You're gonna get the tempered glass one
Yeah,
with the
tempered
LED
glass, and
lights.
then
Okay.
yeah, and I think that one is probably like they quoted like 2,100 or something like that.
Are you rolling with the 100 centimeter, the 40-inch one?
No, that one's for the 115.
You're gonna get the 115?
Yeah, yeah.
Dude, you're gonna have a large, dope production. And since you have somewhat of a team already to help you with that booth,
Mhm.
that's dope, man. I don't know a lot of 360 booth businesses that have the 115 LED tempered glass one. So
Yeah, that's what that one girl has. Well, I think she recently just like sold it to her cousin, but I met her at a wedding I was doing, and she had the 115, and I was like, dang, I don't think I've seen this.
yeah,
And then I just like how big it was, and I knew like it's huge, but if you're with somebody else, like you could work it out because she did it and she did it by herself,
yeah.
set up and everything. So yeah, I have
She
that. Like, what was that?
Go ahead, Chief. Go ahead.
Oh no, she would, she I remember when I talked to her, she did it by herself. Like she set it up by herself, the 115. And I was like, all right, she could do it.
That's impressive. I
Definitely, definitely.
really don't know how much it weighs, a tempered glass 115. If she's doing it by herself, she's a strong gal. That's for
Oh no, it's
sure.
it's heavy. She told me it's heavy,
Yeah,
but she just said like the case has wheels, so and then she has an extra dolly too.
the extra
If
dollar.
she needs to bring it up like anything. And yeah, so and she told me like once she rolls it to wherever she needs, like if she has a little space, she could set it up pretty easy. But yeah, she said she has to put the extra effort in because they have a smaller one too.
Mm-hmm.
But the people book the glass one more than the other one,
Okay.
because of the lights and stuff like that.
Okay.
And yeah, she usually goes and does it on herself. It's like her and her husband's business, but her husband works and like
Yes.
that's their side hustle. So
Okay.
she just does it on random weekends or stuff like that. And she does it by herself.
Okay.
But
This is looking really good, man. So you're about to provide a how can I say this? A premium 360 booth for the high rollers out in the Bay Area. So you already have your target market. And that's great because it's part of your overall business plan is who do
yeah,
I want to target? Well, anniversaries, weddings, high-end events.
yeah.
So that's going to be dope. And then when it comes to marketing, guess what? Mr. Lewis is gonna take his own photos, do his own marketing. He's gonna have those quality photos, right? So
Yeah,
I think that really all you have to do now is get this thing going, right?
yeah,
So
yeah,
I think that your budget is there. You're doing your diligence and making sure you're buying from verified suppliers, which is
yep,
wise.
yep, yep.
That's a good thing. Where so when you get started, right? This is gonna be shipped probably to you, and I imagine about less than 10 business days.
Yeah, I think it was about, they said, yeah, 5 to 10 business days. That's what they said.
5 to 10
Whenever I
business days.
purchase, whenever I decide to purchase it.
As far as your photography, it sounds like you've already made a name for yourself because you're constantly busy.
Yeah,
So the marketing aspect, I don't think is going to be somewhat of a struggle for you, just for the fact that, like you said, you're gonna either do, hey, I have photography business. Here's my 360 booth service as well. We can
yeah,
supplement this and make it a bundle. Or oh, you're looking for a 360 booth. I have it. In fact, I have a premium 115 centimeter. Plus, I do photography.
yeah.
So let's see. Are you getting a lot of hits when it comes to your website? Are you using Google? What are you using just for exposure?
Not for what, I don't even have one right now. I used to have one, but I threw it away, and no, all of my stuff is just from referrals.
Just referrals?
Yeah, yeah, but
So,
I am gonna get the another website done, but usually it's literally just through referrals.
okay.
It's from people because I actually I live probably like an hour away from the Bay Area, but I'm in Stockton, so I'm like always in Stockton, Sacramento, and the Bay Area. So I'm like in a little triangle.
Mm-hmm.
And um yeah, so like as far as websites, I don't have it, but I usually get them through just referrals. But now like I know I have to with the booth, I'm gonna have to eventually, get one, which is fine,
Absolutely, because that website, you spend some time in it, you put some energy in it, you get creative, and then that website's there to stay. It's gonna be working 24/7 for you, so it's
Yeah.
definitely a great investment. Also, it sounds like if you're in an area like you said, the Barry area, and then Stockton, and then you're kind of like in the middle. There's one important concept that I learned is that when you are, say, for example, you do like a radius, right? And there's a triangle, and you're kind of in the middle of that triangle.
Hmm.
Everything around you is an opportunity for you to capitalize. So if you're on the very tip of the triangle, well, at least you get this portion. But if you're somewhat in the middle and you don't have a lot of competition, you might end up getting a second booth sometime this year. And that's
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
when you start really expanding and bringing in a decent revenue. Especially if you're going to be charging rates that are higher than your average location when it comes to that particular rate, because what you're offering, like I said, you have your audience is going to be a little different,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
which is great. Man, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Who's rocking it out right now as far as the 360 booth in your area besides the lady you were talking about earlier?
That lady was in the Bay Area, and that's not where I live. So that's in the Bay Area, but where I live in Stockton, there's only like four that I've seen, and they're all like super, super new. And I know since Stockton is like a small city, like I know three of the owners, and like they're like new business owners, and they're not into photography or whatever. So that um they started this year, but like you could tell it's been a little bit slow, like just on like their posting of events or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So like I think their pricing was about, I think it's like it ranges from 450 to like 600 for like 2 hours.
450 to 600.
Yeah. And I know like out here where I live, everything is a little bit cheaper. Like I know for like weddings, photography sessions, I know it's a little bit cheaper than I know when I go to the Bay Area, I could charge
Mhm.
100, $200 more just because I'm in San Francisco or Oakland.
Demographics. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, I know that and I already expect it, but for like the 360 booth, like there's other photo booth companies. Um, even them, those are pretty small, but the actual 360, there's not like that one in the city or in the surrounding cities, like there's not like a go-to or like a top three that are like, ooh, this one has this one or this company has this. Like it's kind of just like a free fall right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like in a new, it's everybody's up and coming basically. It's
Right.
kind of
And you're about to enter that lane.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Hopefully.
So once you enter that lane, how are you gonna separate yourself from these individuals is because they're somewhat, they're a network of operators, but it's also your competition at the end of the day.
Mhm.
What's your strategy?
For now, I was thinking once I actually get it, I'm gonna probably have like a small get together or something and just like kind of, do like a test run, probably
Okay.
do two or three
Mm-hmm.
and just have like, family come over, friends, and just have them, you know, do a bunch of videos
Okay.
and then like have my Instagram, whatever, and just have them tag it, have them make TikToks or whatever, and kind of just like build like internally with like friends and family.
Okay.
And then once I get to like a certain amount, this worked on my photography too. Is like once I got to like 500 followers, I did like a simple giveaway of like three free three free photo shoots.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about that for the 360 booth, but when I did that, um, I instantly jumped like to 1,000 followers because
That's
people were
amazing.
tagging like, I did the tag three people and three winners will get a free photo shoot. And when I did that, people were tagging like crazy, um, getting my name out there. And then literally that's how like I kind of been like coasting this whole time, just because a lot of those people that didn't win the photo shoots end up liking the free photo shoots that I done. And then like, oh, I like him so much, I'm gonna book him for this. I'm gonna book from that. So like I'm kind of thinking something like that, but maybe not three free events, but you know,
No, but you are actually that's a great strategy
yeah.
because you are getting people involved. That's one.
Mhm.
And it's like, for example, Nike is a brand and it's a well recognized brand. And Nike's at a point where they don't really promote their stuff anymore because the people that are walking wearing their brand is like their people have become their brand ambassadors. The people do the marketing for them that wear their attire.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
for the 360 booth, you can probably start off by saying like 1 free hour, and then
yeah, yeah.
so you get that 1 free hour, and then when they book you, you say you get 1 free hour, and you can do like a minimum of 2 hours, so it's like 50% off in a sense.
Yeah, yeah. I was thinking about that too. Yeah. So you still
So
get paid in a way.
yeah, so keep it at maybe at an hourly basis versus a whole entire booking or session,
Hmm.
and do the 1 hour, and I think you should definitely run with that. Now, when it comes to your photography business, do you have anything going for the photography business? I think you mentioned Instagram.
Yeah, it's purely off Instagram.
All Instagram. Okay.
Yeah, if it's Facebook, not really, but it's purely off just off Instagram. Nothing, really nothing else.
Because this content's going to be different now. We're going into the video content. I would highly recommend somehow merging your photography Instagram page with your 360, since you already have followers and you already
Mhm.
probably have a built-in client base as well.
Yeah,
Also, take full advantage of TikTok and Google My Business. Keep all those together and have that handle revolving more around the 360 booth, because quite honestly, I think you would agree that when it comes to the 360 booth and the photography, the 360 booth service, the compensation is just way higher.
yeah, oh, yeah, yeah,
So
definitely.
that's definitely what you really want to double down on is a 360 booth exposure. um,
Yeah, because I on my main page, my main like personal, but I have two photography pages. One is like motorcycles, cars, whatever, and then I have one for weddings. So my main one, it's about 6,500 followers, and then on my wedding one is about 2,000. And then I have a TikTok too, personal one. That one has like 14,000 followers. So I have a good amount of followers, even if it's, not everybody's going to follow, but I have a good amount of people that know that I've been a photographer for a good part of them knowing me.
mhm.
So if I do come up with, hey, I'm offering a 360 photo booth, like they're going to be like, okay, like if he's doing it, he's taking it serious for sure. So you know, I kind of have that little advantage because I've noticed that, I told like two people and they're like, oh yeah, let me know when you get it because I'm gonna book you. Like I don't even have it yet.
I was thinking just that right now. I was thinking the position that you're in already, it's just about you getting it, getting familiar with the technology, getting familiar with the app, getting familiar with the overall operation. Let me go ahead and put
Yeah,
this.
yeah,
And that way you build your confidence, your experience, and boom, you take off. You have
yeah,
at least 4 bookings minimum a month, and
yeah,
you're fortunate enough, like I said, to have a team. So you guys can rotate like you mentioned earlier. Um, what other areas? Give me 1 second. What other areas do you feel you might need some type of assistance or tips and advice when it comes to this 360 booth business?
Mainly I was looking up is just like the maybe like the marketing because I seen that you have like a Yelp, right, for your
I ha-
business.
I stopped using Yelp. I'll tell you why, Philemon.
Oh, okay.
Yelp, those guys, because I have another business too. It's an iPhone repair business. And what would happen is folks would post their review on Yelp, and if Yelp is constantly going to call you and bug you because they want you to run ads with them and promos,
Oh, okay, okay.
and I feel like and 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 the reason I'm saying this right now is because other technicians like myself notice the same thing is when you don't use their services, they don't post every review
Yeah.
your client leaves. And I think that's really unfair because we go through the effort of providing the best service so well that the client is inspired enough and grateful enough to take time out of their busy day to actually post a review
Mhm.
for you, and then it comes off as not recommended, so it doesn't show on Yelp, and I think
Oh,
that sucks big time. Google's a little different. I've noticed almost everyone that's left me a review so far for the 360 booth business, Google has reflected it, even if they didn't even write any text. Even if just give me a 5 star with no text, that's something that you don't want to do though. You always want to tell your client to put in some keywords in there when they leave you that 5 star review,
mhm.
especially 360 booth, 360 video booth, and things like that, 360 booth rental. That way, you start getting recognized, and the algorithm starts pointing traffic your way when people are on their search engine looking for those keywords plus your city.
Okay. And that's just Google, right?
Yeah,
Like,
that's Google. And Google's, it's crazy here. I'm going to share my screen with you here.
okay, yeah, because that's the main thing is like the Google, because like I said, I don't have a website for mine, so like they just look up me through Instagram.
Yeah, I tell a lot of, lately the universe has been pointing a lot of entrepreneurs my way, not just through the YouTube, but like in person. Because,
Mhm.
you end up at these events and people go up to you and they give you props on your setup. They give you props on their experience. They give you props on like the cold sparkles. They're like, hey man, do you have a business card? And then you realize too, after a few words exchanged, that they have a dream, they have a passion, but
Mhm.
they haven't really, move forward with it. So then I'll stand there and I'll give them, the best tips that I can. So let me go ahead and put on my and let me know if you can see my screen
Mhm.
on your end, Chief.
Yeah, I can see it.
So I'm just gonna type in 360 Booth San Bernardino just like that,
Okay.
and my website is already ranking at the very very top here, which is something that I feel like it should be a goal almost for every individual to be on the top three when it comes to being on the Google page. And this takes time and effort, but once you're there and no one's doing what you're doing, you're going to stay on top for a very long time. And that brings in a massive amount of traffic.
So when you look at just 360 booth San Bernardino, like that's not your the business name, right?
No, it's not. And that's actually a
Okay.
really good point that you bring up. A
Yeah,
lot of
yeah.
folks get fixated on naming the business after their name.
Hmm.
They love putting their name on there, and then they like putting 360 booth or Philemon's Lewis photography, right?
Hmm.
But I always tell people this is that one, Google doesn't know who you are as an individual.
Hmm.
Google is trying to it's trying to provide a solution. So if you're looking for a particular service, Google's searching and is trying to find those words that match what they typed into the search bar. So, for example, do you see here on the right side?
Hmm. Yeah, yeah.
Notice how I put 360 photo booth rental, because at the time when I set up this website about 4 months back, people were looking for 360 photo booth rental. So I added the photo, even though it's not photos, but because it was a hot
Yeah,
keyword and there was
yeah,
high traffic search, I
yeah.
included that. And then, of course, then I put the business name, Canary Capital Rentals, at the very end, because sooner or later, I knew that sooner or later when I just typed in Canary Capital Rentals alone, it was going to associate it with 360 photo booth rentals. So that's what you want to do when you get your Google page started. If you do that tonight, just to kind of, and you don't have to publish it, you can just get started on it.
Hmm.
I would do something like 360 booth rental or just 360 booth, and then your city. It doesn't have to match your business license. It doesn't have to match your LLC,
Okay,
your
yeah,
bank
that's
account.
what I wanted to ask too. That's
Yeah.
what I wanted to ask.
It doesn't have to match that, man. Because right now, what you really want to do is you want to make it extremely easy for people to find your business so they can send you some inquiries, give you some, take some calls, get a feel for the market, see how many people are calling, if they're price sensitive, and things like that. That way you
Okay,
can
yeah.
start, yeah, so you can start building some like statistics and some data as far as what it's looking like for your area. And is it weddings that they're calling you for more often? I know for sure throughout the year there's gonna be one season where it's crazy amount of just graduations, and
Oh yeah, yeah,
so
definitely.
that as a photographer, that's a
Yeah,
very
yeah,
busy season. I was
yeah,
thinking
yeah,
about I was thinking when I was driving stuck in traffic today. I was thinking going into my calendar on my Wix and blocking off, for example, Halloween, October. I'm thinking of blocking off Fridays and Saturdays for maybe 3 weekends straight and having people call me and inquiring on those days that show unavailable, because I think I'm gonna treat those days as premium days where I'm gonna do a premium charge,
yeah, yeah,
because so that's something that I want to share with the rest of the community, because I want them to really capitalize on the moment. And I know that some people still only have one 360 booth, so it's not like they can book every single person that calls. And one part that still messes with me, and I just bought a 360 booth for the winter, so I want to get a second one for myself now, is when, for example, just today I was at the barber shop. Someone called, they wanted a 360 booth this Saturday. Yes, they booked last minute, and I couldn't book it, man. I just couldn't make it happen for them. So I called two other individuals that are in my area.
hmm
And the reason I recommended them is because I'm aware of the service they provide. I know that they do their work with integrity. They're business owners, so they want to make sure that their brand is going to be represented in a positive light. They were booked as well, so I had to be
Oh
the bearer
yeah,
of bad news and tell the client, I called around, I just couldn't find anyone.
I know
Um,
how that feels.
yeah,
Like
bro.
a
So
wedding photographer and stuff. Photographers, they, do you know anybody else? And then I ask, and then they're booked too. I know exactly how that feels.
it's a sucky feeling, and it makes you think like, one, I have to step it up somehow, some way. I need to step it up because this is a problem that's just waiting to be solved. And the reason I can't solve it at this very moment is because I don't have the manpower, or it could be I don't have the capital, or I don't have the experience. In my case, what it truly is right now is it's very difficult to find workers, operators that are going to go out there and represent your brand and do it with integrity.
Yeah, yeah,
And it's sensitive because folks are paying, as you stated earlier, they're paying anywhere from $450 to $600 for 2 hours.
yeah,
If they're going to be paying you that much, you better bring it.
yeah. They expect a great service.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm trying to find people primarily in hospitality, just because I know these people already have certain characteristics that are going to match the line of work. So that's what I'm working on right now. But let's get back to the Google here. Since you don't have a Google setup for your photography just yet, from what I understand is this strictly so far as just Instagram's been working for you, right?
Yeah. So and on Instagram too, before it got popular, I was like one of the first people in my town to put Stockton photographer. So when they would look up Stockton photographer, and I was like one of the first people to use the hashtag too.
Mm-hmm.
So like that's how I got a lot of my business was
Mm-hmm.
from people going on Instagram just looking up Stockton photographer. I was
Yes.
like one of the first photographers to pop up. Like at one point in time, I was literally the only one for like a year,
Okay.
and I was getting literally like I was surprised myself like how much I was getting, and then it went from Stockton what a photographer or whatever. But yeah, that's why I brought that up again because I when I looked up on Google like your name, like I was wondering like if that's your business name because it says 360 photo booth separate and deal. And I was like, oh, okay. Like I was like, I wonder if that's what it is, like on
Yeah.
purpose, because I was like, I kind of know how like when you have that like that and people are in your city looking up stuff, like you want to be like the first one or the top person to, to be looked at.
As visible as possible. That's for
Yeah,
sure, man. So this was done on purpose with
that's
great intention.
that's dope.
It worked for so the reason I did it this way here, Philomen, is if I type in iPhone repair San Bernardino just like this up here, again, I'm at the very, very top right here, right?
Nice.
And it's like These guys were here way before me. I moved to San Bernardino 4 months ago.
Oh wow.
Yeah, 4 months ago. So these guys have been around for a while. And like I said, man, it's all about getting those keywords in there. So
So you have a potential if somebody's ahead of you, you have the potential to get up there.
absolutely. In fact,
Okay.
in fact, I did it with both the iPhone repair and the 360 booth business. When I first arrived here, I actually started calling operators in my area just to introduce myself and let them know, I'm here. This is my intent. I hope we can network and really get as many bookings as possible.
Hmm.
And out of everyone that I called, there was a two individuals that we were calling each other, text messaging, and I was sending them business, and it worked out well because they reciprocated that as well. Um, there was one time, Philomen, where some lady wasn't paying me. Like in my contract, it says you need to pay your balance in full 7 days before your event date.
Hmm.
And this lady was kind of just dragging it, and we were already past the 7 days. Now it was 5 more days to her event date. So I text messaged her and I told her, hey, I'm really trying to work with you, but if you can't process the payment within 24 hours, then I have to cancel. You just the way you word it too really matters.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I canceled, and I shared that on YouTube. And when I canceled, the very next day, one of the operators within like I think a 10-mile radius from me says, "Hey man, I'm booked. Can you do this?" I'm like, "Bro, a spot just opened up, man." So I felt like, man, thank you God. It was so
Yeah.
interesting how. And then the other person that we did last minute, she she paid a deposit and the full balance right there and then, because she knew that, hey, we usually do this 7 days before, but since it's last minute, and then she understood, we worked it out. I had a great time at her event, and it's just like the universe aligns everything so well sometimes, man. It's just God, or that's kind of God's hand. I feel like, um,
Yeah, that makes it. I for my weddings, I do that too. 7 days before the actual wedding day. So I know how that feels when they don't pay. Then
right.
it's like,
And I, and
you
I think I
text
think
them and let them know.
because imagine you show up to the event and they say, "We'll pay you here. Do you take Zelle? Do you take Cash App?" And then
Yeah,
you get there, right? And you're a photographer, so you have, I'm sure your camera's a good size, plus the lenses you're gonna be using,
yeah, yeah,
stuff like that, right? But imagine as a 360 booth operator showing up with your entire equipment. It's a whole different type of setup. The first thing when you get there, you want to greet them, say hello, but you don't want to say right out, "Hey, you mind
yeah,
if we get
yeah,
the payment right away?" Because
yeah,
I got a lot of things I gotta unload, and I don't want to wait till the midpoint or the end where you still tell me that you need to run to the bank. It's like you don't want to deal with that anymore, man.
yeah.
Like,
Even at the end, especially like at a wedding or an event, like they're having fun or something, and you're just like, hey, sorry to ruin your fun, but
sure, sure, you pull
I
them
know
off the
I know
dance floor.
exactly. Yeah, I know exactly how that feels. I've been there before. It was
Yeah, so that 360 booth contract really helps facilitate and get both parties on the same page in a literal sense. So to answer your question, Mr. Fullerman, definitely add the most important keywords to your listing. Even my YouTube channel is called 360 Booth Rentals.
Mhm. Yeah,
You know,
I've seen that
so
too.
so
Yeah,
like I said, everything I did, man, is because I in the past I've had other businesses, and I think that every time I failed, I only acquired more experience to utilize in my up and coming venture, and that's what I've been rolling with, man. So when I started the 360 booth journey, I had experience under my belt from a lot of past failures.
yeah,
So I kept rolling with it, man. I kept going because I had air in my lungs. I had that motivation, and I just thought to myself, no, it's gonna work. It's gonna work. It's not over. I'm still breathing. I'm still going, and kept on going. And who would have thought that me sharing my 360 booth journey will bring you and I here together today on this Zoom call? It's just, to me, it still blows
yeah.
my mind, bro.
Yeah, I literally looked. That's all I looked up on YouTube was 360 photo booth. I didn't put anything else. Like I didn't put rentals. I didn't put business. I literally put 360 photo booth,
Yeah.
and then yours was popping up. So I was like, okay,
That's
like
cool that you bring that up, man. Let me say this really quick. When I first started my 360 booth YouTube channel,
yeah,
I was hungry, man. I was competitive. Like I told myself, I want to be the most popular guy on three. And so what I would do, man, when I first started my 360 booth journey, I would put certain keywords on my YouTube page, and I can show you what I mean um, by sharing my screen. So there's a lot of things that I was doing in the background, and every day when I would meet like a random stranger or a family member, be like, "Hey, can I borrow your phone?" And I'll go on their phone and I'll go onto their YouTube and I'll type in 360 booth and see if I would come up on the top, because on my phone I was already coming up on the top, but that's because it's my device.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know.
So I
Yeah.
would always test it on other people's iPads and devices, and when I started coming up on the top, I was like, "This is dope." And then I signed up for this IQ right here, and
Mhm.
what it does is it shows you. I'll give you a visual here. Booth business. See this vidIQ right here?
Okay, I see. Yeah.
So this vidIQ, and then also, man, definitely start that YouTube page, brother. Like I always
Yeah.
push this to the maximum. That this free YouTube, platform is going to make a huge difference on the way you rank for certain keywords. So a big shout outs to all hustle no cap, man. Have you heard of this guy?
Yeah, yes, yeah, definitely. Yeah. I
This
seen
is
that.
one of the first guys that I actually spent some time watching his videos.
Yeah, I
I
did see
like
it.
him because he's straight up real, man. He's like real raw,
Yeah,
he
yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
he doesn't sugarcoat nothing.
Yeah.
So so the top channels for this search term right here, right?
Hmm.
And then you see him right here. For certain keywords, I'll be on the very top, the middle, or the bottom. And so this is important to know, right? And then it'll show you your volume and your competition right here as well. So
Hmm.
for a long time I said, man, I have to get up here somehow, some way. So then you want to download vidIQ. That way you know exactly what keywords to plug in. Now I'll give you an example here. You see this video where it says booking system?
Hmm.
These are all the keywords that are embedded that people don't get to see. All they see is the
Oh, okay,
thumbnail,
okay. Yeah.
but
That's
this
what
is
I'm
all
looking.
the info that I put on here. That way I make sure. So if I type in, let's see, 360 booth upgrade, maybe. Let's try that. Just it's random. Going to 360 booth. So I'm at the very top just for 360 booth upgrade. And like I said, right here,
Yeah.
you're definitely gonna put some of those important keywords. Now, these keywords right here that you're seeing, Philomen, is watch. You go here. Hello, friends. I hope everyone is. Go there. Go to manage video. I'm recording this right here. I'm gonna and the video will be available once it gets compressed and rendered. So everything we're covering right now, you'll be able to circle back and then take a look at what we're going through. Okay.
Dope, dope.
So I'll go to this one here, and then the description right in here. I
Hmm.
always put when I do a video, a promo video, and I'll show it to you in a few seconds. This isn't the video I'm talking about. This is one other example I want to share with you.
Hmm.
If you scroll all the way to the bottom here,
Oh, okay.
it's where you put all this information in.
Okay,
And
okay.
now you might be thinking like, David, that's a lot of typing. Well, you can actually have it set up where this is going to be your default keywords. So all you're truly doing every time you upload is you're adding a new thumbnail and the video that you're actually posting.
Yeah, yeah.
So you don't have to go through the struggles and trouble of doing all of this every single time. And then you could put up to 500 characters. I'm only utilizing 455. So that's one thing I definitely want to share with you. Now, when it comes to posting a promo video, such like, and I'll show you what I mean. Here, for example, like 360 booth Fontana, right?
Hmm.
Look at the difference now. In the description, I typed in 360 booth Fontana, 360 booth Fontana hashtag in the front.
Yeah.
And right away, you want to have your website right in the bottom. Make it very easy for people to click on your website. That's going to take them to your website. In your case, you can have it to where it goes into your Instagram. I have my Instagram right here, or Facebook. Now, the reason I recommend is, say, for example, you get started with your Google page. Your Google page is going to give you a landing page which acts like a website. You can definitely take
Okay.
that link, grab it from up here for your
Hmm.
Google and paste it right in here. And I tell folks, always have all of your platforms linked to one another, communicating with one another. That way, when they're sending these signals, the algorithm picks it up much faster. You get
Yeah.
indexed because this part is called crawling. When your website starts crawling and gets indexed, that's when it starts making sense, and people type in certain keywords, and then you come up. So you have to dominate certain keywords.
Makes sense.
So let me see if I do this and see if I can give you a good example. So say someone types in, I'm going to go to copy and I'm going to go to Google. And say someone types this in here on Google. Or better yet, are you on your laptop,
Yeah,
Philemon?
yeah,
You're not
yeah,
using a phone, you're using your laptop?
yeah, yeah. I
Let's
could.
let's try something even cooler, man, cuz this actually would help me out. So, let me show you here. So, let me go to stop share
Hmm.
and then let me go to more and then advance. Go ahead and share your screen with me,
Okay,
Philemon.
and then let me see. My bad. I only use Zoom like a couple times
All
ever.
right, it's going to be towards the bottom where it says share screen. You're going to click on that arrow
All right, let me
and
see.
then you're going to select desktop so you can share your desktop screen with me.
Okay, yeah, yeah. Cool. Oh, I gotta turn it on in my privacy.
Okay.
Let me go. Do you know how to turn it on or no?
The share screen. So do this. I don't necessarily have to see it. I'm just gonna take your word for it. So if you go to Google, Philemon,
Oh,
if you type,
actually, my bad. I got it. I got it.
you did it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what's
All
up.
right, let me see what it looks like. Yeah, let me just click on it real quick. I just had to open it. It says it will not be able to record the contents
That's fine.
until, but it says like I have to quit and reopen
Oh, the entire
or
session.
do it later. Yeah, because I think because we're on right now.
Okay, that's okay. Do
Okay.
me a small favor, Philemon. Go
Yeah.
on your Google search bar and type in, what do we say? We said
The 360.
360 Booth Fontana, I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, type in 360 Booth Fontana for me,
Yep.
and let me see. Let me know if I'm ranking on the first page.
Fontana, right?
Fontana.
Oh, that's spelled.
Fontana, Fontana.
I think yours is second. The first one is just Revel Spin, the company.
Oh, of course they're on the very top. Rebel
Yeah,
Spin's a
but
giant.
after that is you.
That's me. Does it show my
Yeah.
website or does it show a YouTube video?
YouTube videos and then
Sweet.
yeah,
Okay, cool. Well, that's a victory lap for me.
yeah.
So
Once I seen Revel Spin, I already knew like that was the company. So
so that's a beautiful thing. So that's the power of
yeah.
YouTube. That's the power of keywords, man. And it might not work on the very first video you put out. It just depends
Hmm.
on the competition for that particular keyword phrase.
Hmm.
But keep in mind that you keep on doing, if you're consistent with it, you do it twice a week, you are going to get the same results that I'm getting. It's just a formula. It's really what it is, and it's about you being consistent with your postings and making sure that your title and your description are constantly having those long tail keywords. And in addition to that, you plug in all your social media handles. Um, I mean, that's something that's free, and it's gonna help out your business immensely. You don't have to spend money on Facebook ads. You don't have to spend money on TikTok ads.
Yeah,
Just do everything organically from the very beginning. That way, it has a better payout and it's long term for you because you ranked organically.
yeah. So do you do any ads or
No,
for right
brother, I
now
don't do
it's all organic?
any ads, man. I have experience doing ads when I was doing ads for my iPhone repair business.
Hmm.
However, I got little bites here and there, but honestly, man, I just once I figured out how to do things a certain way and just be consistent and just do it organically, I discontinued the ads and I just realized I'm getting a lot more bang for my investment of time versus putting up capital. And then this is what happens. What's gonna happen is I'm running ads, right?
Mhm.
and then you stop running ads. Well, what happens? Your flow of customers, it stops coming in because you're no longer pushing those paid ads.
Yeah. So you have to keep paying basically for
Yeah, man. So you don't want
forever.
to fall. You don't want to fall into that.
Yeah,
You
yeah, yeah.
now now people might disagree with me because they can be running ads, and those ads that they're constantly running have given them maybe like a 200 increase in their sales. Then at
Mhm.
that point, that would make sense. But most companies that do this are big corporations that have a lot of they have a big budget for their marketing for
Yeah, yeah,
ads.
yeah, yeah,
You and I we're we're on the come up. So right now we want to run lean and as efficient as possible, and that's why it's important for us to optimize those keywords to our advantage.
yeah.
Cool.
So,
So let me go ahead and so that was Google, but let me show you something on Google here.
okay.
Share.
Yeah, because I remember I was watching the videos and when you showed me when you were talking about Google, I was like, yeah, I don't know anything about that.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. So I'm gonna go ahead and go back on here in my Google page. Let me see if I can actually access. Well, I have you here online right now. Let me access my Google page, my actual
So what is it called? Is it like do you have to?
Google My Business. That's
Oh,
when you type
that's
in
what it's
Google My
called.
Business here. I'll go ahead and you can see my screen, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So Google My Business,
Let me write that down.
and
Yeah,
like I
because
said,
I just opened. I had just made a Yelp, but I wasn't. I was looking at other people's reviews on it, and then they weren't really like they didn't really like Yelp. So I was like, because I literally just did it because I don't have a way to like where people could review or leave reviews of like my work, like they'll obviously see the pictures or whatever from the weddings, but
mm-hmm.
I never had somewhere like where people could read reviews. It's always like they would just ask from a friend of like, hey, how's Phil workflow, etc. But like I never
Okay.
had a review part, so this is good because
Yeah, you're
Yelp was giving
tapping into a gold mine now, man. Because if
yeah.
you have sustained your business with no Google, no reviews, no YouTube,
Yeah,
uh, in my mind, I'm a little I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little blown away by how you've been getting by with just word of mouth. But at the end of the day, I do understand that word of mouth and warm leads are the most effective in the industry. Period.
Yeah,
The,
no, it's so far as work. Like I've done one wedding last year, then I did an event, and then I met this couple that was getting married in Mexico, and then
nice.
that's how I did a wedding in Mexico
Oh,
last
I
month.
was about to say, did you actually go out to Mexico,
Yeah,
man?
but it was through like the original people that found me. They found me through Stockton Wedding Photographer hashtag.
Okay.
Did their wedding, and then I've done all their family pictures, like spring pictures, Easter pictures, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and then they had a church event, and then I shot their church event.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's why I met this other couple.
Mm-hmm.
And then they asked me, do I do weddings internationally? I was like, sure. And then that's how I did the wedding. But literally that was all from just the hashtag, but then it's just like from meeting other people. Because I've done other shoots, like family shoots from that one couple as well.
Okay.
So like I said, like the warmly, I'm surprised as well, but it's like
This is
how
amazing. Philemon, do you have your business set up as an LLC right now, or is it just a doing business as and it's a sole proprietorship?
I just made it. Oh, I just filed got the LLC in February, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, February.
Yeah, I did that last year as well. No, 2 years ago. Yeah, 2 years ago, and I did an LLC too in February. That's pretty cool. What a
So
coincidence.
yeah, this is my first year with the business. Yeah, because before it was kind of just like under me, whatever. But now it's like, I was not lazy, but I kind of got content for a little bit because I was still getting all this stuff
With
without
little effort. Yeah.
yeah, and I was surprised, but then like after a while, I'm like, okay, I can't keep doing this forever.
That's good. I'm glad you kind of checked yourself and said, you know what, if I want new results, I have to do something new, right? So
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
good,
And
good man.
I'm always willing to do this. Like I literally seen it like at like 7, and then I was like, "All right, I'm about to book it. It said 8 o'clock is open, so I'm like, I'm
That
about
was
to
hilarious, man. I was on my phone. I was editing videos, and then I got a booking. I was like, oh, cool. I got a 360 booth booking, and I go on. There's like, oh, it's a mentorship booking. Oh, it's at 8. Oh, it's today. I was like, okay, well, there goes my some of the plans I had for the evening. I'm thinking like, you know what? It's all about being resilient. You know, you gotta
yeah,
adapt. So, uh, we're here and we're rocking it out. What's up?
Yeah.
Okay, Philemon. So you want to type in Google Business and it'll take you to something like this. Okay.
Okay, okay.
Now, to make it less confusing, man, what you want to do is, if you're gonna have a new email, a new Gmail for your 360 booth business, use that
Hmm.
same exact email to launch your Google Business. That way, they're associated and there's no
Okay.
confusion. Now, for example, I'm gonna go here on the right side and I'm gonna go ahead and select Canary Capital Rentals there, and then I'm gonna go to Business Profile right there. And this takes me to my
So
Google
should I make another email? Because I have one just for my photos by Phil. And I was thinking I was gonna make another one for like another Instagram and stuff.
Yeah, I seen it. It's a I think it's a Philo man, no, photography
Yeah,
Instagram
photos
something.
by yeah, that's my like business
Okay.
one. Um, but I was thinking about probably making another one anyways, because I actually have three phones, but I have my main phone, then I have my business phone,
Hmm.
and that's for the photos by Phil. But like that one doesn't ring as much. But yeah, I was thinking about just making a whole nother Gmail
Yeah,
to
so if you can
just to
make
keep
a
it separate.
Gmail and if you can make a Gmail and keep it like short and sweet, like
Hmm.
a 360 booth Stockton or your city, and it's
Hmm.
available, a easy Gmail like that would be cool.
Okay.
The shorter the better. And when it comes to emails, I guess, because sometimes people ask for your email on the spot, and if it's simple just for them to like remember it, then they can email you right away. But of course, you always want to have your business card on hand.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like I said, anything that's gonna give you that exposure. So let's go ahead and cover this here. And then as I'm covering this, go ahead and blast out any questions you have. All right.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Cool.
here I am on my Google business page.
Hmm.
This is when you type home. This is what you're gonna see. It gives you some performance, so statistics right here, analytics, whatever you want to call it. And then you scroll down and you see my latest post. And look, man, what I preach, I do. And this is my proof right here. 4 days ago, I posted 4 days ago. Just because I tell people it's very important to treat your Google business profile like a social media
So
platform.
you could post on there.
Absolutely, man, and post as frequent as possible, minimum twice a week.
That's crazy. I did not
Google
know that.
will love you for that. Google wants people on their platform. That's what Google wants. Google wants as much attention as possible so that it can collect more data and make more money of people that are actually running ads and stuff like that, or people that make purchases and transactions, because somehow some way they're going to benefit off of that.
Hmm.
So okay, so let's go back to, so this is the page, and if you go to create post right here, click on that. You could do an offer or what's new.
Hmm.
And an offer, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to give them $5 off, $10 off. You can just click offer, put a photo, offer title, and just let it run. Like, you don't even have to have like an end date. Okay. I don't
Oh,
I don't think
that's
you need
cool.
an end date for this one. And then what's new? Well, now offering the 360 booth LED, uh, platform, holds up to 6 people. Just type in a little description with, like I said, important keywords.
Hmm.
A lot of folks are just probably gonna probably post a picture and that's it. Book now. No, man.
Yeah.
Just please, show it a little bit more love.
Yeah.
This is all about giving your business a little bit of love, man. In different areas of the business, just pour a little love, and it's gonna reciprocate it sooner or later. But there has to be a finesse and there has to be somewhat of a dedication to it. So, um, okay, so offer and what's new. Okay, so make sure you utilize these two tabs
Hmm.
minimum twice a week. Then you can go to add photos. You can add your logo. You can add videos. For me, I like doing a combination of both. I like the videos and the photos. You are gonna like outdo your competition when it comes to photos, because that's your area of specialties. Like, no one can
Yeah.
compete with you when it comes to photos unless it's another seasoned photographer, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So all this right here, man, I'm just going over this real quick because this is easy for you to understand.
Yeah.
Um, you could just post right here, like add photos, logo, and then that plus sign over here as well. Okay. So make sure you're posting at least minimum twice a week. Now, if we go to info on my left side here, and you can still see my screen perfectly, am I right?
Yeah. 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 Perfect.
All right. So right here, this is the biggie right here. So for yours, I'm assuming that you probably are gonna go with something like similar to this, but with your city, right? Because you want to
Yeah.
get those
Yeah.
immediate results. So
Yeah.
just go ahead and do that. Put in your information here. this part right here: party equipment rental service, and also photo booth. Do I have a photo booth? No. However, because it's a 360 booth, I still want to make sure I include photo booth.
Hmm.
This is going to be a category. So make sure for you, you can even put like wedding planner, photography, party equipment rental. So as many as you can put in there, but
Okay.
that are relevant to what you do, of course.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then here, super important, utilize your address. I've had operators in the past that don't feel comfortable putting their address in, and I tell them this: if you don't put your address in, and someone lives within like 6 mile radius from where you're at,
Is it
it's
the home address?
yeah, that's my home address.
Okay.
If you have a business address, even better. But for
Yeah,
me,
I don't, but I don't mind putting the home. So
yeah. So once you put your home address, what Google's gonna do is they're gonna send you an envelope with a PIN number just to make sure that this address that you're putting on here is actually a real address and you actually reside there.
Mhm.
And what I like about Google Maps is that Google is going to register you as a 360 booth business with this address. So if someone is within like maybe 5 miles away and they type in 360 photo booth, well, what Google Maps is going to do is it's going to show them also shops closest to them because that's convenient for the searcher.
That works because I live in the nicer part of Stockton in the
Yes.
suburb.
So
So that works.
so definitely, man, use this to your advantage. And then service areas, you can just concentrate in one big area. It could have been San Bernardino County, but quite honestly, when I first got started, I really wanted to take on all like the entire world, you know. So
Yeah.
I put in Orange County, San Bernardino, Redlands. So, but then I had like right here, I had like 6 of them, I think.
Oh, dang. Oh,
And
you
then
cut down.
I started cutting them down so that they can really focus me in a concentrated area, and I can get that piece of the pie, versus doing like a whole shotgun like everywhere and
Yeah, yeah,
not
yeah.
able to, because gas is crazy right now, man. And when you start traveling to these events, you got to factor that in because that cuts into your profit margin.
Yeah, yeah,
So
definitely.
this right here, that I left it like this, and then make sure that your hours are accurate. Now, if you're gonna be posting your hours, make sure that your hours are always matching across all your social media platforms. That really helps as well. And then of course your contact information. When you do your Google business page, Filament, this is actually my website, but it'll be your actual business for your Google right here
Okay.
until you launch that website sooner or later, right?
Yeah, okay,
And then for
okay.
services, I put in keywords like cold sparkle machines, 360 video booth, same thing right here. I'm just going over this kind of quick because, like I said, like we're recording this, and we're already at an hour. But I still want to show you a few more things, okay?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right here, man. You can come in here, copy and paste. It's gonna be your description. Make
Okay,
sure you add, like I said, give this some love, man. A decent paragraph of the stuff that you offer. Okay.
okay.
Reviews are a big deal. When you get your reviews, man, make sure you're asking your attendees, your clients, hey man, if you guys can please hook me up with the review. It only takes 20 seconds. And if you can please make sure you include the word 360 booth or 360 photo booth or 360 video booth. This helps because one, they already posted a 5 star, and two, the algorithm sees that it's indexed as an individual who had a good experience on a 360 photo booth rental service.
Hmm.
So make sure, because sometimes people are at a party and they want to show you love, but they don't want to write a sentence or a paragraph at
Yeah,
a party.
yeah,
So at
yeah.
least tell them, at least include the word 360 booth, at
Yeah,
least. And so let me see. Does it show sort by date? I guess this is my latest ones. Oh, these were from yesterday.
yeah, it says
So
yesterday.
I was at an event and these were all counselors, teachers, from the educational department. So they actually took time to type something really quick because they
Yeah,
understand. Other individuals like, man, they just don't want to do it, and that's understandable.
that looks good though. Those are all recent.
Yeah, and it's important that you ask them at the peak of the transaction. What I mean by transaction is as soon as they come off the booth, okay, and you show them their video that's been rendered.
Hmm.
It's always a guaranteed huge smile, laugh. They just love how it looks when it's done. And at that point, you're like, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Here's your video. Airdrop it to them. Be like, by the way, in business, Philemon, always use that term. Oh, by the way.
Yeah, yeah,
That's that bridge over to and people like helping each other out. when at the end of the day is some people might have had bad experiences and they're more to themselves, but when
Mhm.
you are asking them during that peak where they're happy what they're seeing, you give them a memory that they can hold on to forever. For you to ask for a review, for them to say yes, it's 100%.
Nice.
All right, so make
That
sure.
makes perfect sense.
Yeah, so ask them at the. It's like you go on a date, right? You don't want to go in for the kiss, and after you need to like add value. You need to get the
Yeah,
emotions going. So when the emotions spike, you ask them for that review, man.
like the perfect timing,
Yes, sir.
basically.
That's how I got 5-star reviews on all my other businesses. It's like you ask them during the peak of their emotions. So
That,
and
that's smart, man. That's smart.
it's a human thing. It's a psychology thing. Like I said, you don't
Yeah,
ask for a raise when your boss is mad at you.
yeah, yeah. No, that it's kind of yeah, it's almost common sense, but at the same time, like
People don't
it's smart.
remember that hey, this is a good opportunity for me to get a review. So that's how I've been rocking it out,
That's
and
nice.
I'm giving you this information because as you can see, it's working. There's no secrets. I'm giving it to you all, and I'm putting it out there as much as possible because I don't know when I'm gonna be leaving planet Earth. You just never know.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
we
yeah.
might as well leave somewhat of a footprint and a guide to other people that are in the same industry, right? Because this can be applied for any type of business, not just a 360 booth business.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
definitely.
reviews, calls is not important. Messages is not important. Most likely they're going to be messaging you through emails. I have 6 missed calls. Always follow up with your calls.
Yeah, yeah.
Call them, let them know, hey, I have a missed call from you. I'm your 360 booth director. What is it I can assist you with? Photos, we already covered. Products, we don't do products, we do services, right? Your website, we're going to launch that sooner or later. But that's just the most important things when it comes to your homepage is everything we just covered, okay?
Yeah.
And then you get your
I
performance.
didn't know anything about the Google.
So when you have time, and I mean like when you have maybe a solid 45 minutes to really show some love on your Google page, do this. Don't do it when you're in a rush because you'll step away from it and then life
Yeah.
happens and then it's just floating in there. So go ahead and take care of your 360 booth business and help it by putting it on Google, okay? And also YouTube. Do what I do on YouTube. I what I say I do. I preach. I do it. If you that's why I said check 360 Booth Fontana for me, and boom,
Mhm.
there it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, no,
So
yeah. That's I mean, that's how I found you, so
exactly. So do the very basics, okay? These literally are the basics. These are the fundamentals, and I think this is definitely the groundwork that we need to build off of.
Mhm.
Everything else is extra, but let's go ahead and get you here first, and I'll follow up with you. Come over to the 360 Booth Global family on Facebook. I know you said you don't have a Facebook yet, right? You don't really use Facebook.
No, I have a personal one, but
Oh, personal. Okay.
not for the business.
Well, with time, I can. If you want to do a Facebook, then I say go for it because remember we're trying to utilize as much free marketing as possible,
Hmm.
and Facebook is going to act as a backlink to your website to your business
Hmm.
because it's such a huge website. So whatever you put on there, it acts like a backlink.
Yeah. No,
So
I just relinked my old photos by Phil Facebook to my Instagram, and
sure.
then so when I post on my Instagram, it posts directly to that page, that business page. Like it's
Okay.
super simple. I haven't really worked on it,
Okay.
but then somebody on Facebook that doesn't have they don't have Instagram, they end up booking me because I started posting back on the photos by Phil Facebook. So
The power of I'm telling you, man, the power of
yeah,
social media platforms is unbelievable.
yeah, it's crazy.
Let's
Yeah,
capitalize on it, brother. So we're a little over an hour, and that's okay because I felt like I really wanted to show some of these points and really focus on the basics, just because I
yeah.
understand that the basics are essential, especially when given, like I said, a Google profile. Um, I was gonna say something, but my dogs are barking in the background so much, I get distracted easily, man.
No, but yeah, no, this was dope, man. I had a feeling when I was looking through the website and I started looking at the Instagram page and just looking how everything's set up. I was like, okay, this looks different from other people's because I was like, he or whoever's putting their time into it is really really doing. I was like, I need to know a little bit more,
Yeah.
because that's just like with the photography. If I see somebody putting the extra mile, I'm like, okay, I need to learn something because they're doing it. So yeah.
That's called
It's
being
great.
interdependent, man. So when I dropped out of college, but when I was going to college, I learned a lot of shit that really I held on to, and then I applied it later on in life. And there's some people that are independent, and that's great. And there's some people that don't want to ask for help, and there's people that are interdependent. So when you're interdependent, that means you're not afraid. You're independent, but you're not afraid to ask for help. You're not afraid
Oh
to ask for
yeah.
directions when you're lost. And that just shows that you have a higher IQ, both mental and emotional, because you're able to kind of disinflate that ego and go
Hmm.
soak up some new knowledge and expand and continue to run with it. So for me, talking to you for about an hour, I can tell you, well, it makes sense why he's has a successful photography business, because who he is and it is core. And now that you see potential, you're saying, hey, definitely can scale if I invest in a 360 booth. So, given the fact that you're in a good area, right? You have people to back you up. You have your team.
Yeah, yeah.
You have an eye for photos. You have an eye for just capturing the moment.
Yep,
I'm
yep.
confident in you, man. I'm confident, and I always tell people this too. If you took $60 out of your bank account, to put down a session
Oh
with
yeah.
David one on one, it's like you care. You actually care about your business. And I'm not saying if you don't do it, you don't care about your business. But I tell people I invest in books. I invested in mentorships. In fact, shouts out to Vanell. She got on a one-on-one with me when I was giving away the 360 booth, and just kind
Mhm.
of after really hearing her story out, man, I decided to just give her the 360 booth. So she's the winner of the 360 booth, and I'm just so happy that she actually took time to invest in herself. She was putting
Nice.
the money together, and like I said, hey, you know what? This person invested in herself. So it just felt right, bro. It
Yeah,
just felt
yeah.
right, bro. So yeah, so I'm gonna start mentoring her pretty soon, because if I'm gonna drop money and really just give someone a booth, I actually want them to get the fundamentals down and then kind of have them run with it and add their personality to it and
Hmm.
passion to it. But I wanted to make sure that they at least have the fundamentals down, and I think that's what we covered today, is the importance of fundamentals, right?
Yeah. Spot
So
on, dude. Spot
other than
on,
that,
man.
Chief, please do me a favor. Do this. Find are we friends on Instagram? You found me on Instagram.
Yeah, I think I was on my main page.
So message me either like on Facebook or Instagram. Message me your social media handles.
Hmm.
That way, when I upload this video onto YouTube, I want to make sure that I put you in there in the description. Uh, it's all about networking, man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I'm gonna be sending that video to you, and I think because it's past 1 hour, what's going to happen is going to take forever to render and forever to upload to YouTube. But
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
confident enough to tell you that I believe that by tomorrow morning it should be live on YouTube.
Okay, that's dope.
Is that cool with you?
Yeah, that's perfect with me.
All right, man. So it was a pleasure meeting you, Chief.
Yeah,
Phil. I call you Phil, right?
yeah, yeah. Yeah. Phil me, whatever's easier.
Yeah.
Whatever's easier.
Phil the philanthropist. That's cool.
Yeah, like I said, man, thank you. I mean, I did not hesitate to spend whatever. Like I didn't even care. Once I seen there was some kind of something I could talk, I'm like, oh, okay. I don't even look at the price. I was like, I already seen what I need to see, like as a photographer standpoint. So I was like, I'm willing to invest. Like that's how I am. Like I'm not scared to take a risk. Like sometimes it sucks, but you know,
Well, you gotta just do it, right? You gotta spend
yeah,
money to make some money. But if you don't have to spend too much money on ads, and we can do this right here, then now we're just being super clever.
yeah. No, like I said, man, that was a whole bunch of information. That's more information that I got, kind of on my own, just
Yeah,
gradually looking through these past few months. Like that definitely helped.
sweet brother. Well, I'm gonna let you go for now. But we're gonna stay in touch on social media. Post that that platform when you get it. Those are beautiful platforms. The tempered glass. Uh, I know they're heavy and stuff like that, but like I
Yeah.
said, you are positioning yourself to provide a service for like a different type of customer base. So I'm
Mhm.
very curious to see where your business is going to go to and how you're going to start scaling from, because you're already scaling right now, but I want to see where you're going to take it next. I'm curious, man. I want to see it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm ready to make that step, and it might not, it might take a little while, whatever, but
Of course.
I'm, I'm ready for it.
All right, Phil. Well, you're in Stockton, right?
Yeah, Stockton, Bay Area. I'm literally back and forth. Like I have photo shoots here, and then the next day will be in the Bay Area. So
So now that you have an LLC, man, those trips, those international trips that you're making, that's a huge write off. Just a
Oh yeah,
just a quick reminder there.
I'm learning all that stuff too. Like I never knew any of write-offs or whatever until because I travel a lot, like internationally on my own, and just like other, like, sometimes I get booked in LA or Vegas for photo shoots. So like I didn't now I know like I could write things off. So
Oh yeah,
I'm I'm learning.
very cool, man. Well, like I said, it was a pleasure meeting you, brother. But we have to say goodbye for now. And I
Yeah,
appreciate you
yeah.
booking with me and just having this conversation with me. And I appreciate your support.
Yeah, man. Like I said, man, thank you so much, dude. I got a lot of knowledge, so I'll definitely send you a message on my Instagram, and then
Okay.
send you like my other the actual business, the wedding profile, and then yeah,
Send me all of your links. Send me all of your information. I'm gonna plug that in the description when I put it up on YouTube by tomorrow, sir.
cool, man. Like I said, thank you, and I really appreciate it.
Pleasure. All right. Take care, Phil.
All right, man, take care.
Peace out, bro.